to my party. We're just
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to basically a Arsenal news update. Declan Rice deal is done. It has been announced at I think about 11:30 last night, when most of us were sleeping, including James, who is the most excited little child at Christmas. But yes, so we're going to talk about the Declan Rice deal. A couple of other bits that we want to talk about as well. Tony's got his own little subject. I got mine. And we've also got wonderful Luke as well from the Across the Pond Sports, who we do a lot of collaborations with as well. How are we doing, Luke?
Morning, people. Yeah, absolutely buzzing from last night. I was awake. Tony was awake as well, I know. Because Moss was doing his Canada-Cuba watch-along. So I had to jump on that and talk about Rice with Moss for a little bit. But yeah, that news was wonderful last night for all us Arsenal fans. Finally, the news broke. It seems like it's been a long time. But apparently it's only been a week since the news broke that we agreed a fee. So when you think about it, but I think in the age of social media and of all the deals close, it's even closer now. It's imminent. You know, all these buzzwords they use, it seems like it drags on forever. So yeah, just happy that it's finally the Daily Rice news is coming to an end.
Yeah. Tony, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I like Luke buzzing. Like it says down there, over there. The rice is right.
Tony, how are you doing?
No. Yeah, overall, very happy. Look, it has felt like it's been going on for a long time, but in truth, we're still only in July. So to get this done right now, it's brilliant, and there's still more to come. And obviously, not just that, the Russo news yesterday as well. So being an Arsenal fan right now,
it is awesome at the moment. Yeah, a bit of detail about the Declan Rice deal. It is 3 instalments now. It is £75 million up front, and then 12.5 after the first year, then 12.5 in the third year, and with £5 million in add-ons. I do believe the announcement will be made over the weekend, Monday at the latest. So yeah, watch out for the video. Trust me, the video is epic. And we've also got to wait for Timber. We've got to wait for Saliba's new deal, and for me also Reece Nelson. There was a little bit of talk that Newcastle came in and tried to persuade him, but as far as I'm concerned, Nelson is ours. So what are you expecting from the Declan Rice announcement video, Tony?
oh well, we saw the Russo one yesterday, didn't we? And I think a lot of work went into that one. So
yeah,
it's gonna have to be a Danny Boyle production, surely. That's what I'm expecting. It's also there's rumours flying around that Ashley Waters is involved. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It better not be a letdown. That's all I'm going to say. After all the hype.
Yeah, exactly. Luke, what are you expecting from the?
Yeah, very much the same. A feature length, Cannes film style documentary. Declan Rice probably won't be allowed to play for the first year because he's still filming. So, I mean, yeah, Arsenal are going to go absolutely mad with this. I mean, you look at what they did for Trossard. I think that video was probably meant for Mudryk, the announcement video. And then they just thought, oh, we'll give Trossard this one. That Arsenal will have something lined up and it will take them forever to get it out. So don't expect an announcement from Arsenal anytime soon. It'll probably be, the international players are due back Saturday, aren't they? For pre-season. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I think it's like Saturday, Sunday.
So he'll probably be in training before they even announce him.
I don't know. I've heard that there might be something Saturday, Sunday. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Let's wait and see. Let's get into the comments because Moss was quick on that was like 20 minutes after I actually set the whole stream up. Buzzing all evening after the Rice news broke before going on the World Cup live, and goals. Wow, what a night. Have a great show, Bobby. Hit the likes. Great news, goodness. Thank you very much, Moss. Big up to Satfit getting the Ozil vibes from this one. Generational quality entering the club. To be honest, I'm more excited by Rice than Ozil. I always was. Ozil, for me, I had a feeling he'd turn into what he turned into. Arsenal forever. got the bowls of rice out. Big up to you, Arsenal forever. Morning to you all from Podbro. Danny Sharp. Declan Rice is an Arsenal player. He is. Stop buying all the good midfielders first. Odegaard and now Rice, says Cole. Big up to you, Cole.
I think everyone's dinner time this evening has been inspired by this news, isn't it? Everyone's going to be having something with Rice tonight, aren't they?
Exactly. Man United will announce their new signing today. So look, you've got one midfielder. Let's just be happy with that. Tony, you want to talk about something that was announced yesterday?
Because you don't. Arsene Wenger. Yes, going to have a statue of Al outside the Emirates on the 3rd of August. That's actually the day after they play Monaco in the Emirates Cup. Annoyingly, because I'll be back home by the time they do that. I would probably try to get around for it, but we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm happy with it. I know you're not, Bobby. I think most Gooners are. I think it is deserved. Again, you don't. But you know, when his early, we can never forget his early years. Yeah, it got a bit sour towards the end. I don't really think it's his fault, to be honest. But he changed the club. He changed football, and he deserves the recognition in my eyes. So I'm happy for it. I can't wait for it. I'm going to ask Luke the same question. I'm not going to ask you though, Bobby.
I don't mind them having a statue outside the stadium, but I think we should have the same for all of our title-winning managers, and preferably because of my OCD, they need to be all in order. Otherwise, it just won't be acceptable to me.
It would be a while hence his surname begins with W, so I see what you're doing. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Probably
no, it'll be in the order that they won it. If you get me on their names as well, no, that'd be too.
Well, alphabetical chronological is a bit difficult for him to be one of the first.
But I don't mind him having a stadium outside, a statue outside the stadium. I think the calls for the stadium to be named after him or a stand to be named after him are a bit too much. But because we haven't done that for any other manager.
No.
So yeah,
I'd go for New Highbury myself.
New Highbury, yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah,
I am as well.
Only because like it's only recently, you've seen how the atmosphere has been at the stadium, the way the Arsenal fans are now putting together. It's just like the Highbury days at the moment, and it's what a New Highbury, got it.
Yeah, exactly. Com saying, "Yeah, we have Mount and you have Rice. That's all. Like it's all sitting at a table. Me ordering a salad and you getting a gold-plated steak."
I'm going to be honest, Carm. I actually think he's going to be a decent signing for Man United. He's not going to light up the world or anything like that at United, but I think he improves what you've got in there. For me, my opinion.
I don't
think he's a brilliant, an amazing player. I just think he'd be decent. I'll do a job for him.
Yeah. Me and Colin were talking off on WhatsApp, and it's more of a case of he wants other positions strengthened before we get Mount. But I said, to be honest, we did that with Havertz. Havertz was not an essential signing for us, but he was the first one through the door. Just be calm, and we'll wait and see. But Luke, what do you think about the Mason Mount to United?
I think I was hoping to him coming to Arsenal. I think it was only maybe me and James that were, and that was purely not because I massively rate him, but I just think in Arteta's system, I think I could see how he could have worked, and I think for Ten Hag's system, I think he'll probably play. I don't know where he's going to play because they were kind of playing 4-2-3-1, weren't they, at times? Yeah. If they're playing 4-3-3, then they have. It'd be interesting. Colin probably knows better because I don't pay much attention to the other clubs. But I think if you have him in that midfield three with, say, Casemiro and Eriksen, I suppose, or Bruno, I think he'd do well.
I would say he's quite good on the ball as well. And look, Cannon's mentioned it about Havertz one of the previous streams for you, Bobby. That they must see something to get him this early, like we have with Havertz. Sorry, so it's probably going to work for them. And like Colin just pointed that comment there, it was better than McFred. I do like Fred. I must admit, I think he's a bit scapegoated at times by the United fans. I think he's a pretty good player, but yeah, no, he's right.
God save me, sign if United would be an improvement on them too. Obviously, he's talking about McFred, but Fred is meant to be leaving this summer, so I'm hearing. So we'll have to wait and see. The last bit of news we want to quickly talk about is we a little bit mentioned it last night with Santi Consola possibly coming and joining Arsenal in the coaching role. It is starting to rumble on a little bit more now. There are 2 offers. Villarreal have offered him a deal, and Arsenal are definitely speaking to him privately to see if he would be interested in taking a coaching role. I know he's excited about coaching, but whether or not he's ready to hang up his boots right at this moment. So that's what we need to wait for. But yeah, the Cazorla one is definitely one to keep an eye out for. And obviously I'll be back on Friday if there's any news by that. There is some news starting to break regarding a forward. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. Well, I definitely will anyway. And hopefully that might come out on Friday. But yes, after Timber, after Saliba, after Nelson, after Rice, it will be mainly sales. So the Xhaka deal will be announced, I'm pretty sure, very, very soon now, if I'm honest. And then it will be a case of who else are we getting out the door. Lavia will only come in if we can get rid of Partey. Lavia wants Arsenal, doesn't really want anyone else. But he might be forced to go somewhere else if Arsenal cannot get Partey, because Southampton need that money to be honest. So I know Tony's very excited about Lavia. I like Lavia, if I'm honest, but it is a case of
I do agree with what's been said previously on here about Lavia. Is he is very, very young still, and you kind of want to have a party there to to kind of like show him. Do you know what I'm saying? But look, I think he's capable. I think with the right coaching, I think we've got the right coaching. I think he'll be fine. But yeah, he does excite me. The cost is something people are talking about within the Arsenal fan base, as well. Look, he's got is it next year a release clause of a buyback clause of 40 odd or something
something like that. Yeah, next summer.
That's why they want that. At least I understand it.
But how much would you want to pay for him, honestly?
Honestly, because he's 19, 30 to 35 is reasonable. But again, as we always say on this channel, it's not my money.
Yeah.
And if you've got,
I just think it's just for me, it's just way too much for what he's achieved so far. Do I think the talent's there and the ability to like excel? Yeah, of course I do. But you take a risk with every signing. Luke, I don't remember you saying last night in the chat. How much would you pay for Lavia?
I was asked this in the WhatsApp group. James asked the question. I would pay up. I would pay up to 45.
Okay.
I know Southampton reportedly want 50 mil.
Yeah.
But it all goes on what Arteta says to me. If I'm Edu or Josh, and I'm going back to Mikel Arteta and saying, right, Southampton want 50. I reckon I could probably do it for 45. You tell me, how highly do you rate this guy? And are you willing to put your reputation as a coach that we're gonna buy him for 45 mil, and within a year he'll be starting or he'll be a big part of our team? And if Arteta obviously says yes, I probably would. He probably would if he wants him. And I go, okay, 45 mil. We did Havertz for 65, potentially up to 65, because based on your word, we'll do this as well. Back your manager, and see where we go with it. So yeah, 45 mil would. I think 45 mil would get him. I don't think 35 would get him. That's why I would potentially go up to that.
Yeah. It would be easy to work with Southampton because of the we can give them the add-ons on the instalments because they'll do that because obviously they're in the championship now. So
yeah, you could do 35 mil guaranteed with 10 mil in add-ons, and they might accept that.
Yeah, that's how I think it will end up going. To be honest, whoever gets Lavia. Right. So next question: after all the signings that we are going to make, like Timber, Rice, Saliba, and Nelson, Luke, who would you like to see? Doesn't have to be someone that I've mentioned or has been mentioned in the press. Who would you like to see come in next?
Well, I would still love to see a big centre forward, a Vlahovic type centre forward, not necessarily him himself, but someone of that profile. I know the fan base don't like Vlahovic because of some perceived rejection. I don't think that was I don't think he rejected us because I don't think we was in for him. And I think he wanted Juventus. You know, there was, I don't understand the fan base. Sometimes it's a bit strange. But so Vlahovic, someone I'm not sure about that. Rasmus, what's his name? Hoyland.
Yeah, Hoyland. Yeah,
that would be a lot of money for someone that only scored 9 goals last year.
Yeah,
I think Vlahovic has got a bit more of a back catalogue. He's got a bit more of a proven record as a goal scorer. So, and you'd probably pay the same as well.
Yeah, true.
So, that's what I'd love to see.
Yeah, Juventus won about 70 million. But that is, funny enough, the striker that is starting to be mentioned again with all the stuff that I read. And right, Tony, I'm going to ask you the same question. However, I'm going to put in there also and Lavia. So take Lavia out. What other player would you like to sign?
I am with Luke. I think centre forward. As good as Jesus is, I just want more goal from a striker. I know they spread out across the front four. But to win titles, you need that. You need that striker. The dream is Osimhen. Right? Ultimately, the dream is Osimhen. Napoli going to want big money for that, and we're not doing that this window. No chance. So I get crucified for this, and I said it in the chat, and I'm going to say it again. And I'm going to get crucified right now. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to get Tammy right now. No, Giroud. Giroud. Bring Giroud back for a year. He still loves the club. I know there's that Chelsea thing there. Ignore that. I just want. I want to. He's a target man as well, and he can hold the ball up well as well. We know that. And I the way we play, he would be suited, because I would have gone, if he weren't banned, I would have gone Ivan Toney. Simple as that. But he's banned. I think we could look at that in January. That could be an option. We might hold out.
I didn't want us to sell Giroud to get. Remember, because we had to sell him to Chelsea to get Aubameyang. I didn't want that. Although I'd liked Aubameyang at the time, and I thought he would bang for us, and he did initially. I didn't want Giroud going to Chelsea. So if you're telling me,
only for the year, it's only for the year, and then we go get ourselves a.
That's it. Yeah. If you're saying we could have Giroud for 1 year, and then we go and get an Osimhen next year, I'll take that definitely.
Yeah,
I'm going to get out with that, but
no, because if you think about it logically, that makes sense. Because obviously we wouldn't want to spend big now to then go and get Osimhen next summer. That would make zero sense. So I like what Luke's going with the Vlahovic, because that fits the exact profile that Arteta wants. And so would Giroud, and then Giroud would only be here for a season. He's got plenty of experience as well, so he could talk to the youngsters. Mika Birev, as Luke knows, I love. If he does come back and plays around with the under-21s, he could speak to Giroud, because he is the same profile that Arteta wants: big, strong, fast, good with the ball. So then we can go and get Osimhen next summer, because that is basically our main objective next summer, is one massive big signing. Like, if you think Declan Rice is big this summer, wait till next summer. It's a big signing. It's massive. It will take. To be honest, it will take forever as well. So I know Tony's busy. I'll just mute him just to make sure that he's okay. Is he muted now? There we go. I've done it. No, I've done it now. All right, there we go. So I think if we were to get a forward, I still think the forward, like I said last night, I think that will be the last priority. I don't know why, because I think that's a big priority, if I'm honest. It suits the way that Arsenal play. If we had someone that actually scored many goals. But there's a lot of links, and like I said, if you saw it last night, a lot of links with a right back, and I'm not understanding it. I'm not understanding the links. I know that we want another defender. I know that, but it's the player that we're signing is Timber, who plays predominantly on the right. Tony's back now. I'll just have to unmute him because I think I muted him. No. Oh, I don't know. He's muted himself. Right. So I was expecting more of a left-sided, like we had a link with Inacio. I think last week. But what I'm hearing at the moment is Raw Waters and Lino Sousa are going to be trusted for the first team next season, which for me is
Fine.
interesting.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with it. But these Cancelo links concern me because I think that is totally outside the profile that we needed. I don't rate him, if I'm honest.
I don't. No.
He kind of annoys me, and I kind of get why Pep didn't want him at City anymore as well, because I could see it myself. I was like, yeah, he's not the right player, and I don't think he'd be the right player for us. So if we were looking at a new centre back or a left centre back, however you want to put, none of this inverted stuff. I'm just making that very clear now.
Yeah,
not an inverted, but a proper left back that can play centre back as well. Who are you looking at personally, Luke? Who would you want to sign?
Well, I think we've already got him in Kieran Tierney. Because he can play. He can be a proper left back, and he can in a free. He can play as a left-sided centre back. I wouldn't be targeting someone. If that's what.
Okay.
And with Timber, if we're signing Timber, and you can have, if you're having him as inverted from the right, you can play Tierney on the left.
Yeah,
overlapping.
Mm.
So yeah, I would keep Tierney.
That's fair enough. I do believe that he's still going. I believe it's going to Aston Villa. Tony, I'm going to ask you the same question, mate. So who would you want as a? And you can say Tierney as well if you want. That's absolutely
no. See, I think Luke's hit the nail on the head right there. We've already got him. So if we're bringing Timber in, I'm only going to echo what Luke says. So yeah, it's exactly the same thing for me. We've already got him, and we know he does it good. If we're not going to do the inverted thing on that side, you keep Tierney. Tierney, he's good enough. And like you said, for Scotland, he plays in the defence as well. So
he does.
It makes a lot of sense to keep Tierney if you got Timber, and I think he's still going to be in his plans. I think there's talk of it. So it's just all this fullback talk at the moment. It's really throwing me off, I must admit.
It is, yeah, because there was, what was it, 3 last night? The Cancelo,
there
was
Frimpong. That's why I said, you linked? You played right back. So.
No, I wasn't linked. Trust me, they see enough of me as it is, so there's no way they want me to play for him as well. But yeah, look, I don't know what's going on. Because I have this this system which gives me all the journalists talk from all over the world. So I go through it and I go, okay, look at my checklist and go, okay, that player's actually on the list as well. So, and it is a lot of fullbacks, and I'm not understanding it because that's what Timbers is. And Timber is being signed. There's no issues with anything, despite what people want to say on Twitter. There's zero issues. So he is coming in. I just don't understand where they're getting this from because it doesn't make much sense to me. I know Cancelo was interested by Arteta. That one I do know. I don't like it. So, did you want to say something, mate?
Well, no, there was another thing that really annoys me because obviously you were talking about the right back and left back and whatever and centre back and blah blah blah. But people forget about Ben White, and it's really frustrating me what he done last season. Really, really frustrating me. He's done a great job at right back. We know what he can do in centre back. And I go online and I see these people coming up with their teams and they're throwing Timber in there and they're throwing everyone else in there and even Ben White out, forgetting what he's done and not forgetting just what he's done at the back and right back. It was what he's done with Saka. His link up with Saka. With someone else last season as well. And it confuses me. It frustrates me. Can we just stop with this fullback talk? I heard that we're apparently seriously talking about, I can't remember his name now. You mentioned him yesterday.
Frimpong, is it?
Huh?
Bobby mentioned someone called Frimpong, plays for Leipzig, is it?
Yeah, that one. That one's being talked up a lot as well. I'm not just why we don't need anymore.
Yeah, the Hendricks one makes more sense because he can actually play centre back as well.
Yeah, maybe it was that one I heard as well, and I'm still confused. Yeah. Because I still think Kvyat could do something next season, but this you got to give him a chance.
Yeah, we've got Kvyat as well that can play. You can play him as a left back.
Well, yeah, I know. It baffles me. It really, really does.
And Ben White as well can. I've heard people talk about perhaps a more attacking right back, but Ben White can he can play inverted right back, and he has proved he can do the overlapping right back. He does run out of steam, and that's why it annoys Bobby. That's why Arteta was subbing him a lot. And then when Tomiyasu got injured, I think that's why we saw a drop in White's form, because I think he was just knackered. But Ben White can do that overlapping role as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's what Bobby just mentioned about the youngsters that might be featured more next season. So why are we still talking about these links? It confuses me. It really does. Hey, what do we know?
Yeah, well, look, it's Wednesday today. I've got to do the news in 2 days. I'm going to keep an eye on everything as I always do, and I'll do it, compare it to my checklist that I know about Arsenal's links. And I'm going to just work it out. But I still believe that someone is leaving that we don't know about, if I'm honest. And I think it is Tommy. If it is Tommy, then the right back kind of makes sense, because then he's got a good competitive player to be up against Ben White. So like Ben White, not a guaranteed start, and I don't want any of our players to be guaranteed starters. Yeah, Ramsdale's going to be, but like if we were to have Hendricks, because Hendricks can play right back very comfortably. He's very good going forward. He's very tall as well, which is very impressive for a right back. They don't tend to be that tall. I'm only 5'10", so I'm not exactly that tall. So yeah, I do kind of like it, but it just doesn't make sense unless someone's leaving. Because
but even still, with Tommy leaving, it still doesn't make sense, because that's the whole reason why we're signing Timber now.
Well, this is the thing. Maybe we're looking at Timber as as not the right back. Maybe he is the right centre back cover for Saliba. I don't know.
He's going to do both, just like Ben White.
So. Well, yeah, exactly. If we have 3 players that can, because there's nothing wrong with having three players that are capable of doing the right back position, because obviously injuries happen, and it doesn't necessarily just be one right back's injured, the other one won't be, but sometimes it does happen that the both of them can be injured. So at least you've got a person that can play 3 roles, because Timber can also play in defensive midfield as well. So he's got 3 different roles just within himself. And I've heard that he's okay at left back as well, but I don't know much about that, if I'm honest. So yeah, look,
it's quite interesting. You mentioned Timber can play that defensive midfield. We got Kivia that can do that. We got Ben White that can do that. We got Declan Rice that can drop back to centre back. So it's interesting, and yeah, the more I see these links, I get confused.
Not really, because it's. I think what like James likes to say is when we're in transition, like, and we get cancelled, everyone can cover themselves. Like someone can cover in right back comfortably. You haven't all of a sudden got Jesus at right back. Haven't got a clue, because I guarantee a striker cannot play right back. I guarantee you that those 2 rules do not rule. But at least you've got someone that can fall into that position very comfortably. And it sorry, hitting my own microphone there. It just does make sense. So I'm kind of excited. I've said on many streams we're going to be like a Swiss Army knife next season.
That's multiple. Because how concerned were you when Xhaka would drop to left back, Partey would drop to right back in transition?
Yeah.
So actually, it does make a lot of sense thinking about it that way.
Because Declan Rice can easily, comfortably play at centre back. He is very comfortable at centre back. A lot of people forget this. He is so comfortable. Then Saliba can drop out to the right hand side. So it's just multiple things. It's going to be very interesting how we play next season. I have told you that.
I'm very excited by it.
Yeah, and look, and we're definitely not done with signings yet. Look, a lot of outgoings have got to happen now. Xhaka will be announced. Probably 72 hours, I reckon, if that. It could be announced today. If there is any more breaking news, I'll do my utmost to bring it to you. Obviously, funny enough, I was asleep and there was some horrible news that I had to deal with last night after the stream. So, yeah, so it's a crazy one. It's an exciting, and I did say to everyone, be excited about this summer, because it will be one we've never seen before and hasn't finished yet, because we're only in the beginning of July, and I guarantee we'll be busy until August with transfers. So yeah, thank you ever so much for tuning in. This one is for you from Colm. I have no idea what he's on about, because I have no idea what LA Knight is.
WWE.
Oh, okay. So that's why I have no idea what he's on about. Luke, thank you ever so much for coming on. Where can people find you, my friend?
Across the Pond Sports Talk. We'll be doing like a Wimbledon roundup show tonight with Moss. We were going to do it last night, but obviously Wimbledon was rained all day, so there was not much to talk about. So yeah, that's what we're doing today.
Brilliant stuff. Tony, the man that says he doesn't do much, but honestly, he is so important to the family at the Armory.
I do a bit. I do my best. No. Listen, we've just recently celebrated 2 years of the channel. So I just want to thank everybody for subscribing, tuning in, all that great stuff. It's a great pleasure. We're like a family here at the Armory. Most of us don't get on as much as I'd like to, i.e. me. I mainly work nights, and if Bobby's doing a stream during the day and I'm free, I'll jump on. But yeah, if other than that, you'll find me on the Twitter sphere and all that, just causing chaos the best I can. And please, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, because listen, I would say we all do the same amount here, and like I said, we're like a machine. We all do all certain things. Well, I'm rabbiting on, Bobby. Just go back to you, mate.
Just leaving him to it there. But no, we are honestly the Armory family is just awesome. It's fun. Honestly, the amount of chat that we have off camera as well in our group of WhatsApps is monumental sometimes. And look, we don't always get on, but we're all like a family, so we'll all check in with each other and make sure we're all okay, because we don't always agree, and that's Arsenal fans. And to be honest, football fans, you don't have to agree all the time. Good question just before we wrap up. Undead Minion 187, I love your name. Does anybody know if Marquinhos is ready for the Prem now he's back for loan? I'll be honest, I think he'll either be going out on loan or being sold this summer. I don't think Arteta is convinced.
Yeah.
I don't think Arteta is convinced. So for you, Tony, what would you do with Marquinhos?
You'd have to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him another loan, because we only signed him last year. I can't see where he fits. Even in a few years' time, I still don't know where he fits. But come out on loan again, see what's what.
Luke?
Yeah, same with Tony. I think I don't think we'd get much for him right now, so I think a loan makes sense to try and build his value and then potentially get a sale next summer.
Luke is the businessman. That is a very good way of doing it. So yeah, guys, I will be back on Friday unless there's any breaking news. I've heard that it might be, so we'll wait and see. But for now, take care, everyone. Speak to you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.